All right, I guess we're live. Fucking smoke in here. Greetings, people of Earth, and welcome to the third floor. Tuesday night NFL, Tuesday night NFL, Tuesday night. Going on the air at 8:15. My ass, I haven't been close to 8:15, and fuck yeah, I don't know what time is it. I don't. It is. Oh, it's 9:15. So we're only an hour late. I had to wait for the weed guy. Sorry, weed guy is more important right now. Yeah, we were waiting on the weed man. Weed Man got here, and then we got into. I forgot to do the tickers, so we had to do the tickers real quick and get everything set up and on the air, and we are set. We still can't figure out OBS, so I don't know what the fuck. So still can't split the screen to show you shit. We're gonna figure it out tomorrow. I promise. I'm gonna spend all fucking day trying to figure out this OBS so I can bring you a better show than other than just looking at my beautiful face. Hey, we get to wear the bookie hat tonight because we're back. We are fucking back. Now we had a great over under 2 weeks in a row. Actually, 3 weeks were really good with the over and unders, and the picks were a little shaky. But we got back on track the week before, and this week. So we went 10-4 this week on our picks, and we went 8-6 on our over and unders. That's not too bad, folks. We're getting hot. We are red hot on the over unders. A couple things about the over and unders this week, but nothing to really worry about. Um, yeah, they were there. Our winners for week 11 were the Colts, Vikings, Saints, Lions. What did I tell you about the Lions? The over and under in the Lions game was 47.5. I told you, I think the Lions will cover the over under themselves, and they did by 4.5, putting 52 points up. So they definitely covered. Lions, Rams, Broncos, Seahawks, Bills. Way to go, Bills, man, knocking off the Chiefs. Big game. And I think it was really beneficial to Buffalo being home. I think that had a major stay in it. Chargers and Houston knocking off um, um, Dallas Cowboys. Wow, you talk about a train wreck, fellas. Woo! What are the Cowboys done? God bless Jimmy Jones. God bless Jerry Jones. God bless him. He's a man. He is a soundbite waiting to fucking happen. No matter what they ask him, that boy is just out there, man. Mr. Jones, you are crazy. I'd love to sit down and have a steak with you, though. I would definitely dig one of them Dallas steaks and a big ice cold pint of Sam Adams. Cherry wheat. Oh God, I love Sam Adams cherry wheat. Anybody listening from Sam Adams, you can feel free to send me some Sam Adams cherry wheat. While we're talking about that, as we get on with the show, real quick, if you could help us, we'd appreciate it, man. All donations, please. We'll give you a shout out. We got merch coming. Check the descriptions. We got two new sponsors on board: Dubby Energy Drink and Cafe Casalazzo as a coffee alternative energy drink. I'll get the descriptions in there. Totally blanked and forgot about putting them in there. Actually, if you go into if you go into last week's show and you go into the comments, there's links there. But I'll have more on that as we go. But yeah, Dubby Energy Drinks, man. They're on board as a sponsor. Big time savings too. The holidays are coming up. It's your alternative to the energy drinks, fellas. Forget the Red Bull, forget the amps, forget the monsters. This is the way you want to go. More on that in upcoming. Um, what else we got going? Yeah, check the descriptions. Wife's handbags are in there. The wife's designer handbags, like I said, they're in there. Trying to get them up. They should be on the website soon. Just some of the stuff that she makes. Can't read that, but it's quality stuff, folks. Tagged on the front. There you go. Go in there and read the description. Like I said, stuff for kids, matching stuff. Beautiful handbags. No two bags are the same. Trust me. Laptop carry bag, man. Anything you need, man. You got the straps for the backpack. All handmade, no two are the same. That's in the description. Get in that descriptions. Check it out in there. And check her story out. Please read her story. You'll appreciate it very much. And you'll enjoy the bags. Like I said, they'll be there. So check her Facebook page out. And Bowser Bros Painting, Sacramento, Berkeley, San Francisco area. 15% off your first job. Just mention us. Excuse me. I think all the plugs are out of the way. Oh, and don't forget to visit Johnny Basement on YouTube. Check him out. Johnny Basement on YouTube does reaction videos, all kinds of sports from all over the world, actually. The guy is very, very global. Yes, he is. He is very global. Has an amazing Aussie fan base. A bunch of guys down there digging footy and in the Australian outback. God bless you guys, man. Man, there's so much shit that can kill you down there. It's pathetic. But yeah, go visit Johnny Basement. Look him up on YouTube. I'll get his link in there if I figure. Oh, I gotta get all there. I gotta get everybody's links together. Excuse me, a little scratchy. But yeah, go check Johnny out. And like I said, does all kinds of reaction, and he also does live interaction chats while watching Knicks, Rangers. I think he gave up on the Jets. God, got that that little in there. Ooh, Jesus. Excuse me while I die. Oh, that's much better. What an opening. It's live, folks. You never know what'll happen. Oh, there's the dump button. I could have cut off all that coughing. Saved you guys a fucking... Should we start the show again? Yeah, let's start the show again. Week 11. What a week. Welcome to the third floor. Scratch all that before. Nah. Yeah, 10-4 and 8-6, like I said. Very decent week. As we look at it, we started Thursday night in Philadelphia with the Eagles taking out the Commanders. Like I said, I knew it would be a good game. I thought I'd get a little bit better performance out of the Commanders, which we didn't. But that's what do you expect? I mean, things are going to happen. They played pretty good, got a little close at the end, but that's them. Still hanging in there. I mean, 7-4. They're 8-2. Schedule is pretty favoring for both teams, so let's look at this to come down pretty much to the wire as we go along. Our next game up was the Packers and Bears. Packers knocking off the Bears 20-19 on the last second missed field goal. Man, the field goal kickers. What a week for field goal kickers. My gosh. These guys, man. Holy Christ. Yeah, 2019, not too much talk there. Packers 7-3, Bears dropped to 4-6. The game I told you, man, the over was just so much, man. If you had a farm you wanted to buy, that was the week to do it. Lions knock off the Jaguars 52-6. This isn't even close, folks. Not much to talk about there. Lions staying on top at 9-1, and Jags dropped to 2-9. What do you think about Belichick going to Jacksonville? I kind of like that. I kind of like Belichick in Jacksonville. It's a good fit. Real good fit for them. And maybe he can do something with, what's his name over there? Pretty boy, Lawrence. Then we moved to the game. Kind of surprised me, man. Dolphins putting up big points, 34-19 over the Raiders. The Raiders are 2-8. Dolphins moved to 4-6 ahead of the Jets. Who would have thunk that? You got Aaron Rodgers in your backfield, and Miami's without a quarterback for what, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, and they are in front of you. Jets are a disaster, man. Jets are a freaking disaster. Yeah, a lot going on in the Meadowlands, man. Both teams, boy, firing motherfuckers, boy. There's a couple of vacant parking spots right now. You want to get in on a parking spot at Giant Stadium? Now's the time to do it. What is it, MetLife Stadium now? I'm always going to call it Giant Stadium because that's what it is. I'm from Jersey. It's the Meadowlands, Giant Stadium. Christ, I opened Brendan Byrne Arena back when Bruce opened it with 17 shows. 17 or 18 shows. I think we were there for 10 or 12 of them, something like that. I know we went one time and just never left. So we were there for like 4 days. I don't know. That was crazy. That was a long fucking time ago. Brendan Byrne Arena. Devils' inaugural year. Nets were playing there. Yep. So next game we move up to is the Rams and Patriots. Patriots made this a game. I was pretty shocked, but we covered. We covered by a half point there. That was a 5.5 spread for some reason. So the Rams knocked them off 28-22. Rams moved to 5-5. The NFC West is becoming interesting. It's almost becoming a new NFC. It's becoming the old NFC East, how that used to be. But yeah, the Rams knock off the Patriots in New England 28-22. Patriots dropped to 3-8. Had to be a Saints fan, and the Saints came through, but come on, they're playing the Browns. I mean, really. Saints knock them off at home, 35-14. They go to 4-7, and the Browns drop to 2-8. I could say the Browns are done for the year. Then we move to. This was a great game. I told you this was going to be a game in the trenches, my friends. If you paid attention last week, you'd understand what I'm talking about here. I told you this game was going to be low scoring, and in the trenches, this game was going to be. And damn if I wasn't, man. 18-16. Wow, man. What a game. What a game. Just as expected. NFL football at its best, as far as I'm concerned. I don't care what anybody says. I watched every play of the game. It happened to be on. So, great game. Then we move to I don't know what's up with Minnesota, man. All of a sudden, Minnesota can't fucking score. They just can't score. But they're winning, but they can't fucking score. Vikings knock off the Titans 23-13. Again, I think we went with the under with that one. I think that was one of our unders that we got. I just went based on the Vikings are not scoring. Titans can't score, so that was kind of an easy one. 46. I forget what it was. I think we hit that one. I'm pretty sure we hit that one. So if you're just joining us and just dropping in, please hit the like, follow, subscribe, whatever you're on. You're on Rumble, hit the subscribe. Or hit the follow, whatever. Then we move on to Colts knock off the Jets 28. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me go back here. Vikings go to 8-2, and the Titans drop to 2-8. Then we go to the Colts beat the Jets 28-27. I saw the highlights of the game. They're done. There's just no fucking. There's nothing on the team. They're just playing. I mean, they're basically just going through the fucking motions. Looks like they're practicing, really. Jets are done. Colts moved to 5-6. Jets moved to 3-8. They were 2-1. They were 2-1. Oh man. Then we move on to another interesting game. The Broncos. There might be some teams surprising some of you folks out there for whatever reason, but I got to put the Broncos at the top of the list. I was not expecting this out of the Broncos. I really wasn't. They beat the snot out of the Falcons, 38-6. They beat a tough Falcons team. Probably benefited them being at home, but They knock them off 38-6. Both teams 6-5. I mean, that helps me a little bit, but not much. Not when I lost 2 games to them, man. Then we move on to another game. Man, this was a great game too, man. Look at Gino, boy. Gino doing his thing, man, which I think was awesome. Last play of the game, basically. Seahawks knock off the 49ers, man, who were on the skids. 2017. I saw it. This game, because they play right down the street here, the Niners do. But get knocked off at home by Seattle on Geno Smith's incredible run at the end of the game, man. Just a beautiful way to do it. Both teams dropped to 5-5. Seahawks with a game. With a game in hand, which is nice. Then we move to the Sunday game of the week, I guess. Chiefs at the Bills. Bills knock them off 30-21. Kind of manhandled them a little bit in the fourth quarter. I guess you would have to call it a clean-cut game. I mean, no big breaks or nothing really big to talk about in this game. Maybe a call here or there. I mean, they did start early with but they knock them off 30-21 at home. That's a good game to have in hand. Winning at home. Chiefs dropped 9-1, first loss of the year. Bills go to 9-2, and they're cruising in the AFC East right now. Then we move to the Bengals and the Chargers. This was a pretty good game. Not much to talk about here. Chargers are making it real though, knocking off the Bengals at 34-27. Bengals dropped to 4-7. Man, that's almost put a fork in them, man, or at least flip them over and see if they're burned. 34-27, they dropped to 4-7. Chargers moved to 7-3. And then the Monday night game, the Texans they just demolished the Cowboys. They look pitiful. Texans over the Cowboys 34-10. Texans moved 7-4. Cowboys dropped to 3-7. Panthers, Giants, Bucks, Cardinals were all off. That's your Week 11 recap there. Crazy week, man. We're starting to see the playoff pictures. As a matter of fact, yep, here they go. People hit me up already. I know. Crazy opening. Great opening. I know, great opening. If you weren't here to see the opening, it was fantastic. Fantastic opening act. But if you hung in there this long, man, you're seeing a hell of a show. But if the playoffs ended now, Kansas City would be the first team with the bye. So they'd have the bye. Then you would have Buffalo hosting the Broncos, Steelers hosting the Ravens, and the Texans hosting the Chargers in the AFC. In the NFC, the Lions would be the team with the bye. Eagles would host Washington. Interesting. The Cardinals would host the Packers. And the Falcons would host the Vikings. That's where you're at right now, man. Your leaderboards. I got some of the numbers up, there. But your leaders, your quarterback leaders are Burrow with 3,028, Lamar Jackson 2,876. Cousins comes in with 2,807, Geno Smith 2,781, and Stroud with 2,628. Passing touchdowns, Burrow 27, Lamar Jackson 25. Mayfield, even with the week off, he's holding third place with 24. Goff with 20, and Darnold with 19. Receiving yards, Chase with 1,056. He's the only receiver in 1,000. Right on his tail is Jefferson from Minnesota with 912, so he might go over this week. Lamb with 774. 774. Pickens from the Steelers, 728, and Flowers of the Ravens, 727. Receiving touchdowns, Chase has 12. St. Brown has 9 of the Lions. Kittle of the Niners, 7. Evans, who hasn't played in 3 weeks, He's still tied for fourth with McLaren with 6. Evans still hasn't played, and he's still got 2 touchdowns. So I don't know where all the touchdowns are going for these guys, but it definitely ain't a major wide receivers in the end zone this year. Rushing yards, you got Henry at 1185, Barkley right on his tail at 1137. Jacobs of the Packers with 838. Hubbard of the Panthers with 818, and Gibbs of the Lions with 776 rushing touchdowns. Henry has 13. Jalen Hurts has 11. Cook has the Buffalo Bills has 10. Mixon of the Texans has 10, and Montgomery of the Lions has 10. Interceptions, Joseph of the Lions has 7. McKinney of the Packers has 6. Humphrey of the Ravens has 5. Branch of the Lions has 4. And McClellan of the Rams has 4 also. So you got two interception leaders with 11 interceptions, 2 guys in your backfield with 11 interceptions between the 2 of them. That's a pretty good secondary, if you ask me. If you're asking me. So if you're asking me, ask me. And if you're just joining us, how you doing? Welcome to the show. Hit the follow if you're watching us. Hit the like, please. Go into chat. Let me know who you do, who's your team, and what's going on. Interact a little bit. How you doing, guys? Defensive tackles, Smith of the Ravens with 110, Franklin of the Colts with 109, Wilson of the Bengals 104, Cross of the Colts 102, and Braun of the Eagles with 101. Wow, 211 tackles, man, on your front line. That's pretty stout too. But and your sack leaders are Hendrickson of the Bengals with 11.5, Benito of the Broncos with 9, tied with Lawrence of the Giants with 9. That's always a nice name to have with the Giants when you're talking sacks. Lawrence. Unfortunately, there ain't an L in front of it. The other way around. There ain't a Taylor at the end. Whatever. You know what I was saying. A little fucking stoned. Fowler of the Commanders at 8.5, and Van Ginkel of the Vikings with 8. Those are your leaders. Let's get to this. Let's do this. Time for week 12, my friends. Let's get into our week 12 picks. If you're just joining us, welcome aboard. How are you? It's great to have you aboard. Thank you. Like, follow, share. Like, follow, share. Get in the comments. Add a comment. Get in the chat. We're doing live chat. Hit the rant if you would like to. We're getting ready to do our week 12 picks. Here we go. Week 12 picks. All righty, here we go, folks. Week 12 kicks off Thursday night with the Steelers at Cleveland. We're going to take the Steelers minus 3.5. Over or under is 36.5. We're going to take the over. You're going to notice something here, people. Then we go on to Sunday. We got the Bucks at the Giants. Bucks minus 5.5. We're going to take the Bucks minus 5.5. Over under 41.5. We're going to take the over. Lions minus 7 at the Colts. We're going to take the Lions minus 7. 49.5. We're going to take the over. Houston minus 8 home against the Titans. 41.5. We're going to take Houston minus 8. 41.5. We're going to take the over. Miami minus 7 home against New England. We're going to take Miami minus 7 because Miami seems to be playing football all of a sudden. 45.5. We're going to take the under there. Okay. Washington minus 10.5 at home against Cowboys. Come on, people. We're going to take Washington minus 10.5. 45.5 over under. We're going to take the over. Just trust me on that game. That game is not what you're going to think it's going to be. That's going to be a one-sided event. That's going to be a one-sided game right there. Washington minus 10.5. Yes. 45.5 over under. Yes. Over. Pay attention to that game. Vikings at the Bears. Vikings minus 3.5. We're going to take the Vikings minus 3.5, 39.5. Over under, we're going to take the over. The last of the early games, Kansas City minus 10.5 at Carolina, 42.5 over under. We're going to take Kansas City, give the 10.5. We're going to take the over 42.5. Then we move into the 3 late games. We got the Broncos at Vegas. Give me the Broncos minus 5.5, 41.5 over under. We're going to take the over. Seattle minus 1 home against Arizona. Minus 1, 47.5. We're going to take the under. We're taking Seattle minus 1. I think this could be our weather game. I think this is going to be our weather game. So we always have a weather game. That's the one I think we're going to be. But we're going to stick with Seattle there, home against Arizona. Big game in the NFC West. Huge game in the NFC West right there. And Packers minus 2.5, 47.5 over under. Packers are home with the 49ers. We're going to take the Packers minus 2.5, 47.5 over under. We're going to take the under. Again, I think this might be another one of those weather games. We'll find out, but I think this could be another weather game, so pay attention to that game. We're going to take the under in both those games, which I think are going to be the weather games. The Sunday night game is the Eagles at the Rams. Eagles minus 3. We'll take the Eagles minus 3. 49.5 over under. It's going to be an over. And then the Monday night game caps off with the Ravens at the Chargers. Ravens minus 3. We'll take the Ravens minus 3. 50.5 over under. We're going to take the over. We're taking 3 unders this week. That's right. We're only taking 3 unders, and we are taking no dogs. We're betting straight across the board, all the favorites, and we're taking 3 unders. This is a big game. This is a big week for us, folks. This could be a big one right here, man. One of the biggest weeks we ever put together. I looked it over, and that's what I came up with. So there's your picks for week 12. Steelers, Bucks, Lions, Houston, Miami, Washington, Minnesota, Kansas City, Denver, Seattle, Green Bay, Philly, and Baltimore. Your teams with a bye are Atlanta, Buffalo, Cincinnati, Jacksonville, New Orleans, and the Jets are all off this week. That's a lot of teams off, my friends. Big bye week. Big bye week. And then we go into Thanksgiving week. One of my favorite weeks of the year. One of my favorite weeks of the year. So we got a lot going on. Like I said, the playoff picture is starting to evolve. We're starting to see a little bit of a run on certain guys in their MVP years. I mean, Lamar Jackson, he is having a good year. Could put him up there. I mean, there's a couple guys, but right now, I would say Josh Allen and Henry are your top dogs looking to get into the MVP race. Just my opinion right now. I mean, Josh Allen is probably your shoe-in favorite right now. I mean, if season ended right now, Josh Allen pretty much would be my pick, even though Henry's having an amazing year. But then when you look at Henry, here comes Barkley right behind him. I mean, there was a substantial gap between these two a couple weeks ago, and Barkley has just closed that gap and could possibly overtake him. I mean, looking at the matchups this week, when we got Henry on Monday night against the Chargers. I mean, he could run rampant, you know. And Allen's off this week, but we'll see what happens. Let's before we go any further, let's just take a peek at week 13. We're just going to take a peek because it is Thanksgiving week, and see what the matchups are looking like. So our peek into week 13 are Thanksgiving Day games are Bears at the Lions, Giants at Cowboys, Dolphins at the Packers. Then you got the Black Friday game, which is the Raiders and Chiefs. Man, that used to be such a great rivalry. Now it has like nothing. And then your Sunday games, Bucks Panthers, Texans Jags, Chargers Falcons, Titans Commanders, Arizona Minnesota, Colts Patriots, Bengals Steelers, or Steelers Bengals rather, Seattle at the Jets, Rams at Saints, Eagles at the Ravens. That could be an interesting game. 49ers and Bills is a big game. And the Monday night game is just an absolute, I don't know, Browns at Broncos. But that's just looking at week 12 real quick. I mean, week 13. Always like looking at I love Thanksgiving Day. Love the football. Love the camaraderie. Everybody have a great holiday out there, too, by the way. Hope you all do good. Be safe out there. We go into, we could talk about the Jets. We could talk about the Giants, but I think we all know, and we're all pretty much over what the Jets have to do. I mean, anything they do from here on in, to be honest with you, it doesn't matter. Unless you're a fan of the team. If you are a fan of the team, you have my condolences. I'm not too far behind you being out. I'm not too far behind being out of this. One more loss, and I can kiss the fucking season goodbye as far as the Bucs are concerned. The schedule looks good. Giants and then Carolina. I mean, it doesn't get too much easier than that, especially coming off a bye week. I mean, Tampa's got to run. We got to run the table. We got to run the table, and somehow somebody has to really help us knocking off Atlanta to get us into a spot where we can pass them. Because we wind up in a tie, we're done. We lose. We're out. We lost head-to-head. First thing they go to in the tiebreaker. So, excuse me. So there we go. Other teams looking stout. Kansas City's going to be – Kansas City's tough. We know Buffalo's tough. Minnesota was playing extremely good. Now you got to start putting the question marks with the Vikings. Chargers are starting to play. Steelers are playing. I mean, you really got some really good. You got some really good races possibly forming here. You got some you got some insane matchups coming up. A lot of these cats are going to start meeting because division plays coming up. Division play coming up. I mean, conferences come a lot of conference games and stuff like that. You got a lot of things coming right now. So it's the teams that are there and are above the other teams. This is crucial for them. What's the most important part for them? If they're running hot, any team running hot right now, Kansas City, Buffalo, the Eagles, Washington, these teams got to maintain that. But what they got to do, which is really hard to do, especially this time of the year, is stay healthy. Man, you got to stay away from the fucking injury bug, man. And I know it's difficult. Some teams are able to plug a guy in there and just get lucky. Other teams, it becomes a struggle. And once you start moving guys around the fucking line towards the end of the year, trying to make up for someone who's hurt, man, that's where the heartaches begin, as the song goes. That's when the heartaches begin. So, there's a lot to look out. Again, I keep talking about it. Weather, this is the time of year where the weather starts to affect certain games. And in another couple weeks, almost everything's going to be a weather game, including in Florida. It becomes rainy season. It's not as warm down there. Like your safest spot's probably Arizona, maybe LA. I don't know. But when you start talking Seattle, going into New England, going into Pittsburgh, going into Cleveland, Cincinnati, Buffalo, KC, man, these could be dismal, man. Playing up there in Green Bay ain't no fucking walk in the park either. You know what I mean? You got a lot going on, man. And this is like what I would call, like I said way back, if you go back into the earlier shows, I told you week 4, right after week 4 is when shit starts to fucking fall in line. We saw some firings, we saw some hirings. All of a sudden, there comes the trade. And you got to the trade deadline, and you got injuries, and you got this, you got that. Man, I just love all the factors that they pour in there because it just makes for the anticipation of the week before the game so much more. The flow of the game, you know what I'm saying? The flow of the season, storylines, man, everything. It's just really cool how things fall into place. And after this week's over, and we get into the Thanksgiving season, man, once Thanksgiving is here and those games are done and that week is over, that's when fucking football begins. That's when it really, really begins. That's when it really goes down. Because then you see a lot of different things happening. Hopefully, we'll see teams like Carolina and stuff like that play with some pride. Maybe see some young talent out there that we haven't seen all year. I don't like the word tank the season to get a pick. Because, to be totally honest with you, and if you're a real, true, honest sports fan, you know that basically the draft in any sport doesn't mean nothing. Draft is so overrated in college. I mean, it's so overrated in basketball. It's so overrated in football. It's hardly even looked at in baseball. It's hardly acknowledged in hockey. I mean, the only two sports where the draft goes big time is the NBA and football. I mean, you don't see ESPN covering fucking the baseball draft. Come on. It's pathetic. All the drafts are pathetic. They mean nothing. So as far as picks and all that other shit, fuck them. Who cares? Trade them away, give them away, sell them. Put them on a flea market on Saturday. That's it. That's what a fucking draft pick means to me. They mean ugats. Ugats. For all you Italians out there. For all you people back in Jersey. You understand. Ugats. That's all you got. You got nothing. Fuck them. Fuck the draft. It means it's like watching a WWE draft. What am I watching here? What am I watching? You're going to go from Monday night to Friday night? Going to college to professional? What's that mean? What's that mean? Once in a fucking blue moon, a Bo Jackson pops up? Once in a while? Out of nowhere, maybe? A Barry Sanders will show up? Even Barry took a couple years to get going. I don't know too many guys that came out of the gate just fire. Kurt Warner comes to mind for Seattle. Eric Dickerson, maybe. At SMU. When they came out, man, they came out. But they had different type of careers, man. They're a different breed. But you know what I'm saying. As far as the draft bucket, just look where Brady was drafted. Okay? Look how many guys have walked on. Look how many undrafted heroes we have. All right, what did they do before the fucking draft? All right, so the draft, ugats, forget it. Don't even, it means nothing. Worried about giving up a second round pick or this, but who gives a shit? You know how many fucking college teams there are out there? You know how many athletes would beg to be found? But because scouts only pay attention to Notre Dame and Michigan and this one and that one, once in a while you get a fucking fluke out of fucking like Slippery Rock or Bowling Green. But come on, they're few and far in between. Why? Because no one's down there looking for these guys. All right? I guarantee you right now there's probably a guy kicking in fucking Anchorage University. Field goal kicker could probably kick from fucking 80 with no shoe on. I guarantee you there's a barefoot kicker in Alaska. What's their college there? Anchorage? University of Anchorage? I guarantee you their field goal kicker is barefoot and can kick 80. With a fucking beer bottle. Crazy. No one pays attention. Anyway, that's my rant on that. So, what else we got? Yeah. Might as well close out on Tyson and Paul. Well, I don't know what you guys thought, but wow, Netflix has got issues. Hopefully, they don't carry this into January 6th when they go for the WWE Raw live simulcast. They had some issues. I'm not gonna say that, but as far as the fight is concerned, come on, people, let's be real with each other. That was not a fight. I don't know what that was, but that was not a fight. That was fixed as fixed could be. I counted at least 5 shots that Tyson held back on. In the first 2 rounds, it would have put that kid in fucking la la land. He still wouldn't be up. But that's just me, and that's how it goes. I mean, everybody made their money. It was a big thing. I think the second fight of the night between the two Mexican warriors was absolutely insane fight. Absolutely insane. So if you're going to watch anything on that Netflix special, watch the second fight with the Mexican warriors. They were just absolutely. It almost reminded me of the first Hearns and Hagler fight. To be honest with you, just unbelievable. And then the third fight, which was the girls, was a. It was hard to watch. And that girl did get ripped off. She won the fight, but she got ripped off. But what are you going to do? It's women's boxing. But holy shit, did they tear each other up? I mean, that girl had a fucking hole in her eyeball. And, oh my God, it was disgusting. But yeah, they stole the show as far as I'm concerned. The second fight, the third fight stole the show. It was the only thing worth the whole fucking event. The first fight was just, I don't know what the hell that was. And the Tyson Paul was basically a scripted event. Somebody was told to hold back, man, for sure. And it was Tyson. Because there was a couple shots there, man. You just go on X and look at a couple of those from the highlight reel, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. See exactly what I'm talking about. He definitely held back a couple of times. But what are you gonna do? They both got paid big money. They probably said, look, don't fucking kill him. And they probably told Paul, look, if it goes past 3, he's gonna be tired, so hold back, don't fucking kill him. But quite honestly, Tyson could have taken him out real early, man. Real early in that fight. I think it was like the fourth or second punch he threw almost would have decapitated him, but he held back. But what are you going to do? So, anyway, there you go. So, that's the week 11 recap, week 12 picks, peek into week 13. I went on a little rant there a minute ago about some stuff. Like I said, the big news in football land is the firing of the GM from the Jets, Joe Douglas. He's gone. Daniels is benched for the Giants, going with what is it, Joey Cutlets there? Is that what they call him back home? I forget. It's been a while, but I think hey, Tommy Cutlets is taking over for the Giants. Hey, here we go. So, anyway, appreciate you all stopping by. Appreciate you if you hit the like. Appreciate it if you hit the follow. Do all that stuff for us. We appreciate it. And of course, Tuesday night NFL Tuesday nights, 8:15. We try for 8:15. We got on at 9:15 tonight. What are you gonna do? Like I said, we had to wait for the Weed Man. The Weed Man was running late. Cost me an hour late to get on the air. But what are you gonna do? But we'll be back next Tuesday with the NFL Tuesday night show for week 12 recap and week 13 picks and all the other NFL news that goes and anything else that tickles our fancy to talk about up here on the third floor. Again, we appreciate you, and if you could help the show, we really appreciate you. Check the descriptions for all the people that are here that help us out. W Energy Drink is now aboard. Got to get their link in there so you could save some money. Got a 10% referral and 10% coupon for you guys. Save some money for the holidays. Got to check out that mystery taste. Oh, it's so good. But anyway, more about that coming up. And yeah, keep an eye out for our little adverts that we're going to start doing so we can tell you when we're coming on instead of just pop it on and nobody knows we're coming on. And they just stumble upon us like you did. So if you're here, like, follow, rant, send us a rant. We'd appreciate it. If you'd like to donate to the show, that's in the descriptions as well. We appreciate you all stopping by. What else have we got going here? All right, we're gonna head on out, and like I said, we'll be back next Tuesday night with the NFL Tuesday Night Show as usual. And stay tuned for ads and all that other fucking happy horse shit. So if you're here, hit the like. And if you're watching on replay, drop comments, man. We're always open for comments. We would love to interact with you. People come in here, they watch the show. No one wants to chat for whatever reason. I don't get it. So we'll figure it out next time. So remember, when you come up to the third floor, remember to bowl up, to bong up, and then beam on up to the third floor. We'll be up here hanging out, waiting on you, just chilling in time and space.